Have you ever stayed somewhere longer than you should had? Maybe a relationship or a friendship or even just an environment that felt off. Deep down, you knew something was not right where you are, but you just chose to stay anyway. You just decided that I want to be here. Maybe you could be having very good reasons. Maybe you kept telling yourself it will get better, which is a good reason, or they'll change, or maybe you just kept saying the normal of, I just don't want to start over again, which is a very valid reason. But instead of the problem getting better, it slowly started draining you. Let me tell you this clearly. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave immediately. Leave. Don't think about it. Not every place that you are in is a place that God called you to stay. Some places are just pure assignment. Some places are just lessons. Not every place is your destiny. There's a moment in the Bible where a man stayed in the wrong place for too long and it cost him. The man is Lot. In Genesis, we read about Lot. Lot chose to live near Sodom because it looked so good in his eyes. It seemed like the right opportunity. Everything about Sodom made sense, just on the outside. But over time, what surrounded Lot started affecting him. And then when destruction was coming, God had to literally pull Lot out of Sodom. And that tells you something. You can be in a place that looks aesthetically right, but it's completely wrong for your spirit. And here's the dangerous part. The longer you stay in the wrong story, the harder it becomes for you to live. You want to know why? Because you get comfortable. You get attached. You start normalizing things that once in your life bothered you. There's a story that we were being told when we were growing up that when you walk into a dump site, there's a stench. You feel it the moment you walk in. But the more you stay in the dump site, the stench starts to fade away because your nose gets used to it. And that's exactly how it is in life. When you stay in the wrong places for too long, you immediately start normalizing things that once really bothered you, like the smell in the dump site. I don't know if I'm really making sense. And then now what you used to feel is wrong starts feeling very familiar. You get comfortable because you're already attached. Familiar does not make things right in any way. Just because you've been staying somewhere a long time, that does not give a reason to stay there forever. God is not asking you to stay in places that are slowly breaking you. In fact, God is calling you out. Sometimes God is just calling you and leading you out. And every time He's leading you out and you feel hesitant because you are uncomfortable, it really makes everything difficult, and complicated. I know living means maybe uncertainty, or it means letting go, or it means trusting God even without seeing the full picture. But that is faith. Staying in the wrong place is a problem. It is more dangerous because it will cost you more than living will. You know, staying in the wrong place will cost you your peace, it will cost you your identity, it will cost you your growth, and so many more. Just think about it. Is it even worth it? I guess not. And here's the truth a lot of people are avoiding. Not every door you walked through in this life was opened by God. Some doors were just opened out of emotions. Some doors were just opened because you were lonely. Some doors were opened because, of impatience, and many other reasons. So, not every door that you walked in or you're walking through has been opened by God. And this is something that you should sit down and, think about before making some decisions. And it's okay. We all do it. But wisdom is recognizing when something is not aligning and just having the courage to walk away. Even Abraham had to leave what was familiar to step into what God was calling him to do. God told him to go. without giving him all the details. And that's it. So if you feel that tension inside, if something in your spirit keeps saying this is it, don't ignore it. That could be God trying to redirect you, because you cannot step into your right story by holding on to the wrong one. You cannot grow where you're constantly being drained. You cannot become who God called you to be in an environment where you're being contradicted. So, this is your confirmation. You don't have to stay where you are not valued. You don't have to stay where, you feel you're being connected from who God has called you to be. Living does not mean that you failed. Sometimes living means that you finally listened. So if you're in the wrong story, have the courage to close that chapter, because God is not writing in confusion. He's not writing chaos or constant draining into your life. He is writing purpose in your story. He is writing peace and direction. But you have to be willing to walk away from what does not align. The right story will never require you to lose yourself just to stay in it. You know, and that's just the lesson of life. I hope I really encouraged you with this. Every time you feel you're not valued, walk away, because God has greater plans for you. That's it for today. My name is Victoria Alfreda, and if you've not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye.